A lot of people wander about, and I'm guilty of this as well, wander about thinking, I don't know what my purpose is. They spend so much time and effort looking for their purpose. God, what is my purpose? What am I here to do? I just feel like there's something I should be doing, or what's my purpose? And I just wanted to let you know that part of the construct of the ego mind is to find purpose. If you were to believe that you are having a spiritual awakening, which is why you're searching for your purpose, we talked before about having to discern between which thoughts are ego thoughts and which thoughts are spiritual thoughts. Well, you can be pretty sure if you're being told that you don't have a purpose, that is your mind searching for a purpose. The spiritual walk is you are literally doing it as you speak. There is no searching for it. You're walking it. Yeah, so your spiritual life, you're walking your spiritual life. It's part of, we talked about the Tao, the Tao Te Ching, going with the flow of life. Well, that's if you're having your spiritual awakening, you're newly awakened to this whole spiritual world of understanding yourself. Who is the self? What am I truly? Hint, hint, hint. You're the spirit inside of the body. That's who you are. But you're on this spiritual path, and on this spiritual path, according to the writings of Lao Tzu, the Tao Te Ching, life happens. You don't have to strive to find life. You are living life. You are quite literally doing your purpose just by living. Just by living and walking your path every day, you're doing your purpose. And according to the writings of the Tao Te Ching, being in the flow of life, what your purpose is, or what you came here, if you want to listen to some near-death experiencers, and as I've said, I've listened to hundreds of them, you came here with goals, things you wanted to achieve, things you wanted to experience, is the more correct term to use. But those experiences are going to come to you. You don't have to seek them out. You don't have to know what they are. You don't have to strive to make them happen. They're going to happen. It's going to happen. That's the beautiful part of the spiritual path. It's going to happen. You don't have to do anything to make it happen. It's almost as if, and I've kind of experienced this too, it's almost as if you're just going to stumble into it. It just, one day you decide, well, I'm not going to go that way home. I'm going to go that way home. And on your way over there, you see a place where, hey, that's really cool. A park over there. I don't know if I've ever seen that park. And so you go over there and you check out that park. And while you're in that park, you meet a person. And you get to talking to that person just to be kind, because for no other reason. And suddenly you understand that, hey, these guys are involved in something that was really cool. And all of a sudden, you're on a new path, right? You do anything to make it happen. You just kind of followed your intuition, and bingo, it happened. That's the spiritual path. So again, the difference between the ego mind and the spiritual mind, you have to discern between those things, right? If you're going out and you're saying, I know I've got a purpose somewhere, I'm going to find it. And you're looking here and you're looking there and you're striving to find what this purpose is. You're racking your brain. Oh God, oh dear Lord, what is my purpose? You can be assured that's your ego mind, right? So, better that you stop all that striving. Just stop it. You don't need to do all that. What you need to do is live your life from day to day, always constantly thinking in terms of what is love's highest ideal. And when you determine in every situation that you come up against what is love's highest ideal, do that. And in so doing, you will be sure, absolutely 100% sure, that you are on the right path, and that everything that you do on that path is your purpose. It's the right thing at the right time in the right place. Always. Always. And good things will always flow out of that. And so, as I said, when you're walking that path, as it always happens, it just, when I say love's highest ideal, I mean, imagine if you were this being called love, right? Like, you were love, and you came up against a situation in your life, and you're like, well, what should I do? I'm at the crossroads here. So, you're love, and so what you do is you think of, okay, so what is the most loving thing as far as myself, as far as everybody else, and maybe the most loving thing that I could do is for somebody else, even in lieu of the most loving thing for me, right? Anyway, you think through that as love would think through that, a person called love, an entity called love, and you say, what would be the most loving thing I could do in every situation, all the time? And like I said, you do that, right? And in this way, you are assured that you're doing the right thing at the right time in the right place, as I already said, right? So you're doing that every day. And so what happens now, you're making the right decisions on every decision you're making in every area of your life. You're in the flow, as we talked about with Lao Tzu and the Tao Te Ching. You're in the flow of life. Good things are just happening to you. And so now you start seeing things that are like really wild coincidences. Like, oh my gosh, I'm driving through this particular area, and a guy I used to work with years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, lives over in this area. And I wonder how that guy's doing. I haven't talked to him since then. I mean, it's been, 4 years. I just wonder how he's doing. Be interested to know that. And then suddenly, later that evening, maybe even the next morning, just randomly out of the blue, you get a call from that guy. All right? Haven't talked to him, haven't seen him, don't know what he's doing, no idea what job he's got. He just out of the blue called. Well, that's called a synchronicity. That is life happening. That is, there's no logical explanation for why you just thought of that guy the day before or even the same day, and bingo, he's calling you. What are the odds of that? All right. So not only that, there's things they call synchronicities. They call angel numbers. There's all kinds of different things. I'm sorry. And here's another example. So I'm at work one day, and I have to, part of my job requires that I get some information from another contractor. My problem is this information, I'm going to struggle to get it because that contractor has not been on the job site for a while. His work was completed, I don't know, 8 months ago. The guy, and this guy is the one that was leading the whole crew, so they've moved on to the next thing, right? They're not here anymore. And so I need to find that guy. Who am I going to find? I got to find somebody here that remembers that guy, has got their contact information, because I don't have his contact information. I don't have any way of getting a hold of the guy, and I can't remember what his name was. And I can't really remember what the name of his company was either, but I know that, if I describe this guy to somebody here, they're going to tell me, right? And so I'm thinking this while I'm looking at this job I'm supposed to try to undertake. So I leave that spot to go look at another little job that I have to bid. It takes me 5 minutes to drive from this spot to that spot. And in the meantime, I'm thinking these thoughts. Who am I going to get a hold of? I don't know what this guy's name was. I don't know what his company is. I don't have any contact information. I got to find somebody who knows. So, in the meantime, I'm driving over and I'm going to look at this other job. So I meet the fella that I need to meet over there. And we talk about this and that and the other thing and what this job's going to entail and what I'm going to need from him, what he's going to need from me, and we're going to figure out, what this price is going to be. And I look up and there's a car coming down the road. And this is a big job site. This is a manufacturer who's on this facility that covers 20,000 acres. Well, not 20,000 acres. 2,500 acres, I'm sorry. It's a pretty big site. A lot of roads, a lot of places to go, a lot of places around this thing. Here comes this car. The car pulls up right next to me and the fellow that I'm talking to. And who is it that gets out of that car? It's the guy who I was thinking of that I haven't seen in 7 or 8 months. I don't have his contact number. I don't have his name. I don't even have his company's name. But lo and behold, he just happens to decide he's going to go back to this job site and visit some people, see if there's any more work that he can do. And today is the day that he just happens to be on site. And the guy I'm meeting with is one of the people he decided he needed to come and talk to. And he needed to come and talk to that guy at the exact moment that I'm standing there talking to this guy. And this is the guy I needed his phone number. So lo and behold, now I get to ask the guy the questions about the other job that I needed to do. And I don't have to do any searching for it. This is what I'm saying. This is synchronicity. This is when you are in the flow of life. These are the things you're going to experience. There's absolutely no logical explanation for how things like that unfolded. There's no explanation for it. It's just very cool. That's what it is. And it's called being in the flow. Life is just happening. I needed that information. I didn't have to strive to get it. I didn't have to struggle. I came up with a plan, right? Here's some people I have to go talk to who might have his contact information, but I didn't even have to go that far, right? The guy just showed up at the time, place that I needed him. Bang, there he is. So that's what I'm telling you about being in the flow. You'll know when it happens, because there's no denying it. And all you can do is smile to yourself and say, man, how cool is that? That is so awesome. So, synchronicities. It's a real thing. Carl Jung kind of defined it as being coincidence. I don't remember the exact words. It's kind of along the lines of coincidences that have meaning to the person that's experiencing them, even if other people don't see the significance in it, right? Other people may not tie together the coincidences that you're seeing, but it doesn't matter because, excuse me, it's meaningful to you, and that's the only thing that matters to you. So anyhow, synchronicities, great concept. Another one of those things that when you're in the flow and you're walking in the spirit and you've gotten away from your ego mind. Now, I told you, you don't have to strive for these things to happen. They just happen. So that's not saying don't have any goals. That's not saying have something of plan formulated. If this is truly what you're supposed to be doing, and this is the path that you're to be on, it's all just going to work out. You may be able to skip portions of your plan because everything else worked out so well that, quote unquote, the universe brought you, that you can skip portions of your plan because, hey, look at this new thing popped up and I can go that way. An idea I never even thought of. Bingo, look at this. Oh my gosh. So anyway, all that to say, synchronicity. It's a great indicator of being in the flow of life.